Welcome back to the channel, Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at the new Kill Team Balance Dataslate. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. So here we have the Balance Dataslate 12/23/2022, brand new. Let's take a look. Alright, so here we have the Balance Dataslate Q4 2022. This document contains the collected Q4 updates to the rules for the game balance improvements. New updates can be identified by the presence of an asterisk bullet point. So we're going to focus on just the asterisks today. All right, so right from the core rules right here. So if you're not familiar with this, all the old rules and current rules are in this. And then all the new stuff is asterisks. So new core rule, the movement characteristic cannot be modified to less than 2 circle, even if injured. So obviously you have the Thousand Suns, Psychic Power, or Warp Coven. And then being injured as well can decrease your movement. That is capped now. No matter what, you will always have 2 circle movement. I like that. I think it's a good change. So just kind of scrolling down here, looking for those asterisks. All right, so we have Pathfinders, Kill Team Chalnath, operative selection, must take 1 less operative. So that is definitely a big deal. 1 less Tau Pathfinder. That is a big nerf. That's definitely a game changer. I think they're going to be okay. I think that's a good nerf, honestly. We'll see how it plays out, but Phobos Strike Team can use the following strategic ploy. Deadly shots. Until the end of the turning point, bolt weapons that friendly Phobos Strike Team operatives are equipped with gain the P1 critical hit rule. This has no effect on weapons that already have the APX special rule or PX critical hit rule, respectively. So pretty good. 1 command point for P1. And then next we have Reaver's Terror Action is 0 AP. In Cursor's multi-spectrum array ability, change first bullet point to read. The intended target cannot be obscured. And then Guerrilla Warfare and Leaders strategize actions, change distance requirement to square. So decrease the distance requirement for the Guerrilla Warfare ability. Free Reaver Terror. That's not bad. There's no way it should have cost an action point, and there's no way that I mean, Reavers are terrible right now, so it makes perfect sense to give them a little buff. That's also a very situational ability. Like, maybe you were going to use it once per game or twice per game. Now I would say that's actually relevant, possibly. I mean, it's just an auto do when you're in that scenario, which is basically just decreasing your opponent's APL for purposes of calculating who controls an objective within a certain distance of it. So I think that's a big buff for Reavers. Are they good now? Probably not. So overall, I don't think this is going to be much of a game changer for Phobos. I think the Intercession Kill Team is probably better, at least Into the Dark. Next we have Hunter Clad. Operative selection. Your kill team cannot include more Sicarian operatives than it does Rangers and Vanguard operatives combined. That's interesting. I thought that was already a rule. If your kill team includes no more than 4 Sicarian operatives, it can include 1 additional Ranger or Vanguard operative for 11 operatives in total. Okay, so maybe just the second bullet point was added in here. If your kill team includes no more than 4 Sicarians, it can include an additional Ranger or Vanguard. So that's pretty good, honestly. That is pretty good. So if you forego taking that extra Sicarian, the 5th one, you could have 4 Sicarians, and then you can have 7 regular, Ranger, Vanguard, Leader, etc. So very interesting. So another buff for Hunter Clad, and they were already pretty good. Void Dancer Troop, Domino Field Strategic Ploy, 1 plus CP. The Strategic Ploy costs 1 additional command point for each previous time you've used it during the battle. E.g. 1 command point the first time, 2 command points the second time, etc. I don't think that's bad. I think Domino Field is pretty much everybody's using it 1 time. Oftentimes you'll use it multiple, but if you're finding yourself in a situation where you're using it a second time, I don't think that extra CP is really going to sway you one way or the other. You either need it that second time or you don't. So I think that's pretty rightful. The Void Dancers are still strong, but after the last set of nerfs, I think that brings them right in line with where they should be. Gellerpox Infected, Techno Curse ability. Distance requirement is reduced to circle instead of square, and square for glitchlings instead of pentagon. So that hurts them. That decreases the range of the ability. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, to tell you the truth, I get it on Into the Dark. It can be kind of like a big deal having those like large areas of -1 shooting. But on a big board, yeah, I don't know. I think that's a bad change. Revoltingly resilient, glitching, and Gellerpox mutant operatives ignore lost wounds on a 6 instead of a 5-up. So now they're revoltingly resilient. So now they're revoltingly resilient is 50% less effective. Yeah, I think these are bad changes. I think maybe they're being swayed by Gellerpox being okay and Into the Dark, because Gellerpox is really bad on an open board. I mean, they can be okay if you play them correctly and you have experience doing it, but they definitely were not overpowered to where they needed a nerf. They were okay and Into the Dark, and they're not good on an open board. So in my opinion, this was not a good idea. Elucidian Starstriders, Privateer support assets improve all ballistic skills characteristic by 1. The support assets were already really good, so this makes them extremely, extremely good. I think this is going to put Elucidian Starstriders make a big difference. Electromaster's Voltgeist Field and Voltgeist Charge actions, 0 AP. Okay, so that's pretty cool now. So you don't have to waste an AP on the Electromancer to use his cool abilities. So that is pretty nice. That's going to make him substantially better. Boydsman Rotor Cannon gains Relentless special rule. So yeah, I mean, Elucidian Starstriders just got a big buff. And honestly, I think they were pretty good before. I'm not quite sure this is going to put them at like a top tier team, but they're definitely at the top of the list or near it. And now a quick message from this week's sponsor. This video is sponsored by CMOgames.com, where you can get 15% off most Games Workshop pre-orders, and they go live right at midnight Saturday mornings. CMOgames.com offers free shipping on orders over $25 in the US 48, and most orders ship within 24 hours. CMOgames.com has been selling Games Workshop products online for more than 20 years, and customer service is their top priority. CMOgames.com carries the full line of Games Workshop products, including 40K, Age of Sigmar, Kill Team, warcry, paints, hobbies, and tools. Visit CMOgames.com using the affiliate link in the description below so they know you heard about CMOgames.com from Warhammer Man Studios. Now, back to the video. Alright, and then Season 2, Kill Team Into the Dark. So we see the Farstalker Kinban. Operative selection can take 1 additional operative, not a kill broker. So that's pretty awesome. 1 extra operative. Krut Bowhunter. The bow improved ballistic skill by 1, all profiles. Krut Pistolier. Dual Krut pistols improve ballistic skill by 1. Krut Longsight. Krut Hunting Rifle improved ballistic skill by 1. Those are all awesome. The Bowhunter, the Pistolier, and the Longsight are all amazing in the kill team. Honestly, the Pistolier was already really good. This is probably going to make Krut a thing. Cutthroat Strategic Ploy, maximum of 5 attacks instead of 4. That's pretty good. Change the EP equipment as follows. Meat 1 EP, trophy 3 EP, so reduction in equipment points on... I mean, the meat is really good. It allows you to heal. So you could potentially put 10 meats in your kill team. Well, maybe not quite, but yeah, that's awesome. Add the following rogue ability. Of course, if you face up against the Starstriders and you're planning to put 10 meat in your game, that's going to make their little special ability even better now too. Because each time you take the same piece of equipment, it costs more points. And then final bullet point for the Farstalker Kinban, add the following to rogue ability. In addition, each time a shooting attack is made against this operative, the no cover special rule has no effect for the shooting attack. So you can never take away their cover from their rogue ability. So that is pretty awesome. So yeah, Farstalker Kinban just got a big buff. Now, they were terrible before. Are they good now? I think they're okay. Part of the reason I think they felt so bad before is because they were in the box set with the Breachers, and the Breachers are probably like one of the best kill teams. So I think that really made them seem extra bad. But honestly, I don't think they're terrible. They really needed this because they really are a shooting team. I mean, they're good in combat, but not really. And then Kill Team Shadow Volts, the Heretic Circle, Necrons, Reanimation Protocols ability resolved before Living Metal ability. So that's pretty awesome. Before they resolved differently. So if you reanimated that turn, you didn't get the Living Metal, which Living Metal just lets you heal. So that is pretty cool. If you come back to life now with Reanimation Protocols, you immediately get healed a couple points as well. So that is super nice. And then also you have the ability to heal extra from your Cryptek. So Cryptek operatives add 2 to wounds characteristic and improve ballistic skill characteristic of ranged weapons by 1. So that's really strong. Cryptex ballistic skill up 1 and 2 wounds. That's really good. That's definitely a nice buff. Cryptex command action is 0 points, so that is awesome. Commence reanimation tactical ploy 0 command points. And phase oculars action equipment 0 AP. So overall some nice buffs for a heretic circle, but the truth is I think their biggest issue is they're like one model short. Having 2 models that are basically like only buffs, the little like plasma sight guys, is just, it limits the whole rest of your kill team, in my opinion. I think they just really needed one more operative. Having 2 just guys that are supposed to like sit back and buff is not great. Now for somebody like the breachers, you already have 10 guys, so if you have like the Geist Skull and the little scout, sure, they're not great, but you already have 10 guys. With the Necrons, it just doesn't leave you enough guys to like do the other stuff, in my opinion. I really think they needed an extra operative, but that's just my opinion. So yeah, that's it. Overall, not bad. I think they did a pretty good job with the changes. It is very strange to see the Gellerpox getting nerfed as much as they did. I thought Hunterclad was already pretty good, so seeing them get buffed seems kind of weird too. Pathfinders, I think good changes. I think overall, the Novitians have been getting regularly nerfed, and the Harlequins have been getting regular nerfs. So Novitius escaping without anything else is definitely good. The Harlequins, I don't think that's really a big deal. I think if anything, it just stops you from spamming the domino field, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, overall, I like it. The Star Striders getting buffed is definitely going to put them up a notch. Yeah, it looks good. Everything looks good. I think Games Workshop killed it on this one. Now, in the future, are they going to have to potentially do some nerfs to like breachers or something like that? It really depends on the setting, because it's a really weird situation right now, because you have a lot of people still playing traditional kill team, and then there's a lot of people playing like indoor Into the Dark. And the truth is, it's very hard to balance both of them at the same time, because you're always going to have teams that are really strong indoors, and you're always going to have teams that are really strong on big boards, but not necessarily when you flip it. So we're going to see how this pans out, but overall, I think it's great. I'm excited for it. So let me know what you think down below. Did your team get buffed or nerfed? Is there any big differences that I missed here? Did I miss any of the bullet points? But yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap it up there. Special thanks to CML Games for sponsoring the videos. But that's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios with the Balanced Dataslate Q4 2022. And I'm out of here.